Let's do a guide on how to operate in Canyon Clash. I get a lot of comments off of the Canyon Clash videos that I post on, wait, what's a strategy? How do you do it? Uh, what do you mean hero power? What do you mean the power pairings? I get a lot of questions. In fact, and if you guys, if you've watched my previous videos, you know I hate editing videos. So all of this is like straight up live on my phone, right? So let me see what we can come up with here. All right, this guy says, look into these videos for some sort of direction or guidance. If you guys can't give some sort of pre-match explanation of overall goal and strategy for that before you started the match, by the way, videos for this game are sorely lacking. But you're not explaining why they're coming out strong. Tips, troop types, hero types, what sort of teams you want for rotating, or whatever the hell you call it. 10 minutes of my life I won't get back. Okay, so let me explain something to you. I'm going to break this down a little bit. We'll unpack this. So if I give away our pre-game strategy, I lose the upper hand if I'm posting this on YouTube, right? Me and my team, we don't get the upper hand anymore because now our strategy is out there. Everybody knows it. Now, that's not to say that that strategy doesn't change in every match, okay? Because it does. There's a key to that, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But the hero types, that doesn't matter. You just got to have some hero power worth a damn. If you're going to be on the starters or even the subs, have some sort of hero power. Have something worth a shit to put into Canyon Clash to help your team out, right? That's first and foremost. Secondly, you got to watch the map. This is the map. This will be in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. This map tells you a lot. So if you look in the upper left of this map, right there, that little blue guy, that is us, right? That's BWO. Down here in the red, that is the opponent. Now, that might switch. Sometimes you might be at the bottom. Sometimes you might be at the top. Who gives a shit? Nobody cares. If you look at the skull in the upper right-hand corner, that is the boss, the captain. There are buffs associated with that. All the little water droplets that you see on the map, those are the water reservoirs. There are points associated with that. The 2 hospitals, there's buffs associated with that. The 2 little tents with a flag, those are the military base. Huge buffs associated with that. So I make these videos thinking that you guys have read the rules. Let me get back to that. You have read the rules and you have read all of the basically buffs that you get out of this. So let's take a look. Let's see what it says. We'll go into rules and we'll go into building intro. Alliance beacon. We saw that. We know where that's at. Upper left, lower right. That's easy. No buffs associated there. That's just your location in Canyon Clash. Energy cell. That's the thing in the middle. That's what drops, and you're supposed to run it back to your Alliance beacon. So, with that said, that's a pretty important part of the match. However, it's not the most important unless you're neck and neck in points. Then, that's a badass thing to get. That's 100,000 points, easy peasy. I will explain to you that your strategy, whatever it may be, needs to revolve around, and look at this. You see military base, alliance points, individual points, and then you see sustained control per minute. You're getting points there. Well, the initial capture is hella points. My advice to you, as somebody that's playing in Canyon Clash, is to be strategic enough to get to the military base first. Get there fast. Have a presence. Whoever is there, they might sit there for 5 to 8 minutes, maybe longer, but they're there, and they can take that damn thing as soon as it opens. because look at the buffs. Damage dealt plus 30%. Damage taken down plus 5%. I don't think anybody's going to hate that. And then you can multiply that times 2 because there's 2 military bases. So my strategy is based on what the building intro is telling you. Just the only thing I'm going to add to, outside of what the building intro is saying is have a presence in these locations. There's more, so stand by. Field hospital, initial capture, 1,800 points, 900 individuals. Come on, guys, it's a points game. This isn't about hero power. It isn't about your tech. It isn't about anything. It's about movement. Get there first, get the buildings, get the initial capture. The sustained control is important. It is how you win without say it with me, how you win without the energy cell. I call it the power core. Same difference. That is a very, very important part to remember. Initial capture is important. Sustained control, yep, it counts per minute. But that's up to you and your hero power to keep that sustained control. It's up to you guys to divide your teams. You've got 20 starters and you've got 30 subs. 9 times out of 10, your starters aren't going to be a full 20 that show up. So you're getting your subs. That's okay. Choose your subs wisely when you're putting the team together, R4s and R5. Otherwise, you get what you get, right? There's nothing you can do about it. Whoever shows up is going to show up. And they might not know where they're going to be. So I'm going to pause right here. Instead of talking about the building intro portion of Canyon Clash, and I want to talk about your communication. Communication starts in the alliance. Mail. Send out a mail where it explains Team A, Team B, Team C, Team D. Here's your responsibility. This is your objective. You need to hit this and you need to operate at a high level on your objective. One of the things we do is we put in a military base objective. This consists of Team A and Team B. Let's just use those letters for example. That is not how we always do it. We judge our stuff based on our pairing. We go and scope the alliance. We check out their players or even their potential players, right? So this last one, we had level 30s. There was 4 of them in that alliance. So we had to kind of change things up a little bit. This entire video is just a guideline. So it's going to change. There's no set way to do it. It's about how you think about it. So with that said, Alliance Mail, it's explaining Team A, Team B. Team A, you're at the top military base, right? Team B, you're at the bottom military base. I need you guys to go there as soon as the gate opens. Teleport there. Stay there. Don't move. Hold that down. You're going to be bored for about 8 minutes. However, there is something they can do to still be productive. And I'll come back to the building intro. If you look at these water drops around the military base, initial capture points. Not to mention there's farming nodes around that too that you can send your 4th or 3rd march to start gathering points per minute. Whatever the hell's in that, you don't need to gather it per se. It's not a resource. You're gathering points. That's all you're doing. Send your weakest march out there with 1 troop for all I care. You don't have to have a full march because, God forbid you take, 2,000 troops out of your headquarters because at that point, you're just that much weaker. So send 1 troop to those things. If somebody hits it, oh well, they didn't get initial capture. It's fine. Send another 1 troop back when they leave, or go kill them with a 3rd march. It doesn't matter. You've got to think through that shit, but you guys have to be able to read the map. Okay, so first and foremost, the most important thing about Canyon Clash is reading this mini map in the top right-hand corner. If you can't read this mini map and see the reds that are popping up around there, and you don't know where to send your people, and you don't know to grab the military base, those people may not be the ones that you want in your Canyon Clash lineup if you're planning to win. Sure, you get second place rewards, right? You get participation points and stuff, and that's fine because we're all going to lose at some point or another. It's just you just got to get better. You just figure out what your weakness was, where you fell short, and go off of that. So back to the Canyon Clash rules section, building intro. So we've covered field hospital, water refinery, quarry. Quarry is the little farming nodes that I was talking about. That's great. You also get points for killing people in the battlefield. That's fantastic too, but look how tiny that is. That's not a huge amount of points. The Canyon Captain, aka the boss, look at these buffs. You're getting march speed at 50%, point yield at 50%, and damage dealt up to 40%. Now let's say you catch the Canyon boss and you got both of the military bases. Look at that point stack right there, man. Look at that. Look at the buffs that you're getting out of that. The buildings are important. It's a points game. It's not necessarily about the power until you get one or two T10 players in there that can kind of dominate. But if it's only one or two and you got 20 other people that know how to operate at a high level and they stick to their objectives, their assigned objectives, you're going to win. It's a points game. The T10s, yeah, they might be able to clap troops and clap your HQ, no problem, easy peasy. Guess what? There's a 30-minute, or I'm sorry, not a 30-minute, a 30-second cooldown from the time you're teleported off the Canyon map back to your home base, or what do they call it? The Alliance Beacon section. So it's only 30 seconds. Yeah, you're going to be less troops, but you could always heal if you wanted to. And I've shown you that in the videos. I do heal. That's probably not wise, but I keep an exorbitant amount of healing speed ups at all times because that's how I play the game. I want to heal, go back in with as many troops as I can. And if they want to beat on my city, shame on them. They're taking the loss. I'm not. That's just how, you just got to figure out how you want to play the game. So some of the other comments that I've got, super positive outside of the guy that was critical. I love criticism. He was just a little rude about it, saying he wouldn't get 10 minutes of his life back. Well, first of all, that video was 43 minutes long. Why'd you only watch it for 10? You're killing me here, man. Watch 43 minutes of it and then give me some feedback. Jeez, trying to get my watch hours up, homie. Anyway, I digress. So let's recap of what I've talked about. Your strategy needs to revolve around your team. You put together your team of starters and your subs. That team needs to be able to operate their objective. So one of the things we do, team A and B, military base is at the top, that's team A. Military base at the bottom, that's team B. Team C is what we call a floater. Team C might consist of 8 people. But also Team D for us kind of is the same thing. So I might be confusing you there. Team C is the floater. Team D is what we call the neutralizer. They also float. Team C is going to go up to the boss. We're going to send 1 or 2. Here, let me get back to the picture of said boss. So we're going to go up into this corner here with the skull. There's going to be 2 or 3 people there, but they're going to teleport right around here-ish. They're going to be in there, and they're going to teleport there. The reason for that is so they can capture those water refineries with their 3rd or 4th march. Remember what I said, initial capture points. Those are easy points. Go grab them. Okay, another thing you can do is for us, as an example, we have the neutralizers. Those neutralizers, oops, sorry, I'm still on the pin. Those neutralizers may pop down here on the enemy side. They may go up here. We don't know. They're reading the map. They're not teleporting out right away. They're watching what the enemy's going to do so they know where to go so they can start clapping cities. And that is paramount. If you can port them out, they might be beating on your military base with their first and second march. And, you know, they're here and you TP in like right there. You go in right there and they got their first and second march hitting that reinforced military base. You're going to clap their city, teleport them out, which takes their troops with them. Easy peasy. And then poof, now you're in control again. These are things you got to think of. And these are things that if you've played if you've played Canyon Clash at least once or twice, you understand this and how this works. Right now, we're in season 1 still. I've had the opportunity to do Canyon Clash 5 or 6 times. It's fun. But in that first time, I didn't 100% know what I was expecting. Sure, I've played other games with events like this, and that helped me go into this with a whole lot more knowledge than someone that's never done this. So I'm trying to explain to you on a level of never ever doing anything like this before, like Canyon Clash. So think about this in terms of this little mini map. This is your best friend. This is your blueprint to success. So keep in mind, just to kind of summarize again, initial capture points, your teams, set up your teams right. And then also maintaining these structures. So if you're not able to maintain and you start seeing red pop up on your map and they've got your let's say they got the top military base right here and that turns red for you. All right, that's fine. It's okay. They won't have it for long because you're going to teleport in here, 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 or maybe it only takes one person because it was only one person on the enemy team that was taking your military base. You port out the city. Boom. You take the base back. You got your buffs again. That is fantastic. And I got one more thing for you that's a game changer. So, and that it's not what you think. This is where the power core drops. And that is what we call the center of the map. So if you ever listen to the Canyon Clash videos that I do, you can hear our Discord chatter in the background. It is not PG. They talk freely. So I wouldn't turn that up super loud if you're at work or, in front of people that don't like that kind of verbiage. Just a full disclosure. But this power core, you should drop in on this power core before it ever even drops. If you look at the power core right at the beginning, when the gate opens and the timer starts for the match, it's about 20 minutes before that thing drops. My advice is to keep an eye on that and be in there about 3 minutes before it actually drops. Have a presence. Remember what I said in the beginning. Have a presence. Be first on site. That pertains to real life too. Like, be first. Just be first. Get there as soon as you can. And when that core drops, grab it, start running it. You're going to get attacked. You're going to get beat up. So what? Your homies are going to come in and help you. Again, back to how we structure our teams. Team C, floater. Team D, the neutralizers. So the neutralizers are probably going to be more focused on making sure our military bases are secure, while the enemy team is teleporting in like a son of a bitch up into the middle. And that's okay. Let them do it. We've got floaters that can come in and intercept. So you want to teleport in a manner. Let's say you've got the core, right? You're right here. You've got the core, and you're going to start running it this way. Well, the minute you start running it that way, you're going to have this guy, and this guy teleport in to try to kick your butt. And they are. They're going to kick your butt. And that's okay. But you should have homies teleport in the same manner. They should be into here, here, and maybe here. Something like that. This isn't exact. I'm trying to give you an example. To where their tanks are coming out and hitting the guy that just picked up the core that you lost. Now, let's say the enemy picks up the core here, starts running it down towards their camp. That's okay too. You've got roughly 10 floaters and neutralizers. They're going to teleport in in a manner that's going to stop the enemy from coming, and or at least completing the run of the core. So you guys can teleport in here, wherever you want to. Just get in front of that tank, but be well in front of it. So for example, if that tank that has the core is right here, teleport in here and come this way to intercept. Make sense? If not, join the Discord. We can make it make more sense. It's what the Discord's there for, is to add more details to some of these videos and answer questions in more details. But if you're going to be a keyboard warrior on my comments, I encourage that. I'm going to like it anyway. It just helps the algorithm. So thank you for both the positive comments and the negative ones. They work the same way. I know you guys didn't think that, but it does. It works the same way. So now we're down to the core. Now, if you get the core, are you going to win? 9 times out of 10, 100%. If this base gets the core and they run it all the way back, that's 100,000 points for them. That's a lot of points, man. But let me show you something. Go back and watch the last one on 8/22 that I posted for Canyon Clash. Here's how we won that. We had all of this. We had all of this. We had most of this. And we had most of this. So our points per minute were hella. We were gaining points beyond control. They couldn't stop it. They did run the core. They took the core all the way to their base. Now, we fought them for probably, I would say 20 minutes out of that match when that core dropped. So we were like down to the wire. There's like 3 or 4 minutes left. They got the core. They got the 100,000 points. They were like 20,000 points ahead of us after they got the core. But because we decided we're gonna own every building we can, we split everybody up, and we got the points. We won by maybe, I don't remember. It wasn't much. Maybe 10, maybe 20,000 points. But a win's a win. Now you might be asking yourself, well, how did you do that? Did you type that into Alliance chat so everybody knew what to do? That answer is hell no. That is not the way to do it. Your Alliance chat isn't going to get you a win. And if it does, you got lucky. That is not a strategy. You need to have a Discord group. You need to have your starters and subs on that Discord voice chat. In that voice chat, you do a pre-game meeting, which is what, the guy alluded to. Is, oh, you can't even hear your pregame. Well, you know what? I'm not going to give you my pregame, guys. I'm going to show you how we think through this, and you can do your own thing. Every alliance is going to operate different. Every opponent's going to operate different. You've got to make that judgment call. You've got to read the audience, basically. I mean, think about this. A football game happens, or a baseball game, and you know what's happening pregame is they're watching previous videos on how these guys operate and how they think, and they're making a game plan around that. You've got to do your own game plan. There is no one way to win Canyon. If there was one way to win Canyon, nobody would win Canyon because we would all be doing the same thing. The purpose of this video is to teach you how to think your way through Canyon. And hopefully you get some pointers out of this. I'm sure it's going to spark a few more questions, but to think that your hero factions, formations, and all that stuff matters, it really doesn't. It does, but not as much as you think. What matters is points. Go get the damn points. Be the first to capture the buildings. Be the first to get the military bases and maintain them. Have 2 teams maintaining the military bases so you get all of those battle buffs. And then, yes, fight for the core. But if you're really good out in the field and you've got all those buildings, you can still win a match without the core. We've done it twice. It's not hard to do. So I'm going to end the video here. Go to the description. There is a Discord link. That is a Discord. I have moderators there. I have a ton of people from several servers that can answer questions on just about anything in the game. Some of the servers are old. I think there's some in the double digits. You know, I'm in 131, so for me, that's an older server if they're in the double digits. So that's my recommendation. Also, after watching this, go back and watch my Canyon Clash videos. We've done like 5 of them so far, 2 different alliances that I've been in, and you can kind of see how we're operating. I get it. It's sort of a first person thing because it's my video. You're watching my account. I have no way to show you what's going on all over the map. But you can hear me talking to my crew on voice chat. There's communication open that's way quicker than typing into a voice chat. So keep that in mind. Do things like that. And if you take nothing out of this video, do voice chat when you're going to do Canyon, when you're doing Enemy Buster, when you're doing Capital Clash. Use your voice chat. Operate at a higher level than the people around you. You're not going to get very far putting up markers only and typing into the damn alliance chat. You're doing yourself a disservice. You're probably losing because of that. I don't know that for sure, but hey, if I had to put money on it, I'm going to say that's one reason you're probably losing. Get your people organized. Get a Discord. Use mine. I'll make you a private channel. I don't give a shit. It's easy to do. But either way, communication is the key. That's how you win Capital Clash. And for the negative Nancy that commented in my shit, that's the secret. Communicate. It doesn't matter about your faction. Doesn't matter about your formation. Have enough hero power to be worth a damn. And then go in there and do what I just said. Get the points. That's all you got to do. Anyway, that's all I got, guys. Like, subscribe, comment. Negative or positive. Don't give a shit. Works the same for me. And then we'll catch you on the next one. See you guys. We got Capital Clash coming up. So I'm gonna record that too. We'll see you on that one.